When was the last time you did something that generally scared you? Like just bone chilling scaring. Name something, or not something dangerous, something uncomfortable. Something where you might fail. Something where somebody might tell you no. Something where you weren't sure you were good enough. Because I've started to believe something. Most people aren't unhappy because their life is terrible. They're unhappy because their life has become too comfortable. Comfort feels good today and sends you the bill later. Welcome back to the Marcus Allgood Show. I appreciate everybody listening, watching, and sharing the show. If you get any value out of this, please share it with somebody that could use it. Today's episode is Comfort is Costing You More Than You Think. We were taught that comfort was the goal. Think about what we're told success looks like. Make enough money so you don't have to worry. Get a nice house, white picket fence, get the nice car, get a secure job, make life easier, eliminate stress, and there's nothing inherently wrong with any of that. But somewhere along the way, comfortable became the goal instead of meaningful. And that's super dangerous. I know I don't live a comfortable life. Mine is a wreck sometimes, and that's okay. Because the things that make life meaningful aren't comfortable. Building something isn't comfortable. And being an entrepreneur is definitely not comfortable. Getting healthy isn't comfortable. Having a difficult conversation isn't comfortable. Admitting you were wrong isn't comfortable. Starting over isn't comfortable. Growth almost always asks you to temporarily give up comfort. And that's okay. Giving up comfort is how you grow. This is how you should be doing life. Not sitting in the comfort zone. We talked last week about being in the rat race and not even remember driving to work or driving home because you're just in that monotonous cycle of the Groundhog Day every day. That's comfort. That is definitely not being uncomfortable being in that situation. If comfort becomes your highest priority, growth becomes the enemy. And you don't want growth to become the enemy because you need growth to expand your mind and to be able to get out there and do things and to have a good time and to be able to let the endorphins and like the dopamine and everything take hold of you, not just going through trying to mask it all with drugs or alcohol or things like that. Like there's other things in life that you can go do that are going to make you much happier than alcohol and drugs. Going to work out, going for a run, getting your health in check, having those hard conversations, get out there and build something. Go try and build a desk outside. Go buy some power tools. Go build a business. Like so many different things out there that you could do to get out of the comfort zone and become somebody else and get out there and have fun with it. Comfort doesn't feel like a problem. This is what makes it dangerous. You think it's okay. Pain gets your attention. Comfort doesn't. If you're miserable enough, eventually you'll do something. Once you hit that rock bottom of where you're eventually at, there's going to be a time when you say, okay, I got to fix it. I got to do something. I need to go jump in the cold plunge. I need to go start working out. I need to do this. I need to do that. But you have to reach that pain point to where it's just so miserable. You look in the mirror and you're like, I have to change. Until that happens, you're not going to change. But you can try, but it's not going to feel hard enough. You're not going to be miserable enough to be able to change. But what about when life just, it's just fine? Job's fine, marriage is fine, health is fine, money's fine. And you're not miserable, but you're not excited either. Like you're not living life. You're not waking up every day without an alarm. You're not waking up every day going, man, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm excited for the day. Let's see what this day brings. If you're not there, this is where a lot of people could stay for 20 plus years. They say that most people die at 35 but don't get buried till they're 75. And I don't want to live a life like that. Like I don't believe in that kind of life. But there's so many people out there, especially in the big city, just living that rat life over and over and over of Groundhog Day, not changing anything, just going through the day-to-day motions. And it's scary to think about, especially if they have kids, just doing the same thing. A lot of times it happens after kids move out. You just get comfortable just sitting at home and just going to work and coming back home. A terrible life will make you change. A comfortable life can convince you not to. And being as miserable in a miserable state is going to force you to change. And I believe that change is always going to happen. Like, one thing that's constant in the world is change. You're either going to be part of it or you're not. You're either going to be happy or you're not. You might not be happy while you change, but afterwards you'll probably be a lot happier. So your comfort zone quietly gets smaller. Here's an angle that I really like. We usually think of our comfort zone stays the same, and it really doesn't. It's really constantly changing also. You constantly avoid discomfort. It can shrink. You stop doing things that make you nervous. Then you stop taking risks. Then you stop putting yourself in situations where you might fail. Eventually, your world becomes incredibly predictable. Safe, maybe, but small, super small. You're not going outside the box at all. You're just staying in your work, home, grocery store, work, home, grocery store. Like, those are the three things that you might do. You might go out with a friend or something, but you're not doing very much else. Every time you run from discomfort, you teach yourself that discomfort is something you can't handle, and it's just getting beat down into you over and over and over. And if you think about having kids, and when you think about, like, let's say, just say kids with electronics or video games or something like that, they are not scared to break it. As an adult, you've broken so many things. You've been told not to do this, not to do that, not to do this, that when you get a new iPad, you don't want to go explore everything because you might break it. And really, you can't ever break the iPad. You just reset it back to factory, and it's going to be just fine. But a kid will go through there and figure everything out because he's not scared to break it, because he's getting uncomfortable. He's not in that comfort zone where he's like, oh, this screen is the only one I want. I don't want to change anything. They'll go in there and change all the settings. They don't care. They're getting out of their comfort zone. And I try and approach a lot of my life that way. Obviously not to the full extent, but think about that when you're out doing things. It's okay to, jump off the curb every once in a while. Take that trip back down. Every time you willingly do something difficult, you build the evidence that you can handle this. Like, every time, it's like lifting weights. Every time you pick up 135 pounds, it's going to be easier and easier and easier and easier as you go. And that first time it's probably really hard, but it's the same thing with building the evidence and becoming somebody that you're not really used to being and getting out of that comfort zone. Each time it's going to get a lot easier. Like, if it was 2013, it'd be a whole different conversation. I'd be like, oh man, I'm scared to do this podcast. I don't think anybody's going to watch. I'd have so many different excuses, and I would never take the leap to go for it. But now I'm like, let's just take the leap and go for it. See what happens. All right. Some of the best things in my life that we're going to look at, getting sober, building a business, raising children, still super grateful for raising children, getting healthy, finishing school, graduating college, leaving a bad situation, repairing the marriage, starting over. Like, these are all great things, but all these things right here, getting sober takes a whole lot of discomfort. Super hard. But it is actually harder to stay sober than it is to be an alcoholic or a druggie. Like, that doesn't take any skill or anything. It takes a lot of mindset to stay sober. And building a business is super hard. Like, every day, it's like a dumpster fire coming at you, and you just got to get out there and make it happen. And raising children, that's a whole lifestyle on its own. It's so rewarding and fun, but sometimes you're just like, why did I have these kids? So therefore, just think about the things that you've done in your life, and what was it hard? Was it uncomfortable? Did you make it past it? Then keep going. Keep trying to find those things that you can get uncomfortable with. If the hardest seasons of your life created some of the strongest parts of you, why are you spending so much energy trying to avoid difficulty now? So get out there, think about something that you can go do that's uncomfortable for you, and just make it happen. There's a difference between peace and comfort. This distinction gives this episode some more depth because of the fact that there's a lot of things going on in social media talking about protecting my peace and things like that. Like, you can protect your peace by getting the troublemakers out of your life. But you still got to get out of your comfort zone. But it doesn't have to be with the people that cause the trouble in your life. Everybody should want peace. You don't need chaos in your life just so you can grow. But peace and comfort aren't the same at all. Peace says, I'm okay even when life gets difficult. Comfort says, I need life to stay easy so I can be okay. And there's a huge difference. Strength isn't creating a hard life. It's becoming someone who doesn't require an easy one. This week, let's talk about something that you could do. Have a conversation you've been avoiding. Like, those are some of the hardest ones. We build those up in our heads so much. Sign up for the 5K race. Sign up for a 2 mile, 1 mile, anything, any kind of race. Apply for the position that you've been wanting to. Walk into the gym. Sign up. Go to CrossFit and take a 1-day class. All sorts of different things. Ask for the sale. Say no. Wake up earlier. Go somewhere alone. Try something you're bad at. You don't need to completely change your life. You need to prove that discomfort doesn't control you. And if you own a business, like, go out there, figure out what your standards are, and hold your employees accountable to your standards. And if they're not up to your standards, then get rid of them. We can always find new people that are going to work for us. Is it hard? Yes, but that's part of the uncomfortable part. But the best thing about a business is if they all come to your standards and you have the highest standards, kind of like a Chick-fil-A, most likely people are going to want to do business with you. In closing, I don't know what comfort looks like in your life. Maybe it's a job you've outgrown. Maybe it's a relationship you stopped working on. Maybe it's a body you stopped caring about. Maybe it's a dream you keep talking about but refuse to pursue. I'm not telling you to make life unnecessarily difficult. I'm asking you something much more important. Has your need to be comfortable become more important than the person you could become? Because comfort isn't free. You pay for it with your life, with the person that you could become. If you got up into heaven and said, I did everything I could with my life, and God tells you, no, you didn't. You could have become this. Would you go back down there and try to become that person? I know I probably would. If I got a do-over and I wasn't up to my full potential, I would definitely go do that. You pay for it sometimes with opportunities, sometimes with experiences, sometimes with potential, and sometimes with years and years. Comfort feels good today and sends you the bill later. I appreciate everybody watching and listening. Thank you and have a great day. That's the pod.